What's up, everyone? Welcome to the live. Gonna go live today. We're gonna do a bit of a giveaway. Lots to learn. Obviously, I do have a degree in psychology. I've also been funded with many companies. So yeah, lots to learn. Awesome questions, and yeah, we'll help you where we can. Hello. How are you? What's up, Jay? You good? What is your NFP view? Don't really have a view just yet. It's not really NFP today though. But let's have a look at the charts and see what we can do. See what we can view. Obviously, not trading advice or not financial advice, just my view, my opinion. But let's look. I'll share my screen. Boom. So we do have, it's not really NFP, it's non-farm employment change. So it's kind of like NFP, but not the same. Yeah, let's look. So we've got that drop in 4 minutes. Looking at gold. So we've got the DXY. Dollar sort of in this range. You can see we very much trading in this range here. With everything going on naturally, so it's going to stay in this range for a bit. I think once we do break out, we should see price break. I think we're going to see the dollar push to the upside with everything going on. I think that we're going to continue on this little bit of a bull run. With gold, actually caught some nice sells yesterday, which was quite nice. So this was last week's live where the week before was live where we said that we want to see price take liquidity here and then continue on a bit of a bull run. That being said, the news event, we've got the previous 0.4. The forecast is 0.3. So they're expecting it to be lower. Hello, everyone. You're good. So we're expecting price to be lower. The previous for the non-farm employment change is minus 92, expected to be 65. Unemployment rate, they expecting it to be the same. News-wise, if everything comes out as forecasted, I would say that dollars should be bullish. Then gold should sell from there. So I think that we could potentially see some sells coming in. But we always, when it comes to news, we are always reactive and not predictive. But looking at the technicals here, we do have quite a nice setup. As you can see, we've got this initial bearish run, got the pullback, haven't broken this high. So potentially we could see some sells. That being said, not financial advice. Gold will open gap up this Monday then. No, it's difficult to say. I don't like to call gaps. A lot of people like to call it. Obviously, there's ways to see what price is doing over the weekend. But if you're in a trade, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't open or close your trades. So it's difficult to call gaps per se. When the whole war kicked off, then obviously everyone knew gaps was going to happen. But yeah, I'm expecting price if the news comes out as forecasted, I'm expecting price to be bearish here. So we should see news events should be dropping in the next 46 seconds. What is your guys' predictions? What do you predict for this? Also, we'll be having I'll answer any questions on that once the news event drops. We'll go through some questions and everything. From Nigeria. Nice to see you, man. I'll answer the morning preparation soon. 20 seconds. Price. I'm expecting price to potentially sell. We could be wrong. There's always a potential. What we could see happening here is price takes out this high and then sell from there. Our position home. Should I hold the book? That's on you, man. I can't tell you whether or not to open or close trades. For me personally, it's all up to you. You don't let other people influence your trading. Okay, so the news has dropped. Not very volatile at the moment. Bit of a bullish momentum. Happy Easter, man. Yeah, Good Friday today. Are we okay? I think the gold chart is absolutely. I think it bought. What's happening here? Not seeing much momentum on gold. Okay, well, the dollar is pushing to the upside. That would mean, okay, yeah, makes sense. I'm busy looking at gold. I'm like, what is happening here? Okay, so price of gold would still move though. So when you have these, weekends and that, the price of gold will still move. Yeah, I completely forgot that today's a market holiday. Um, we still have Nasdaq with the DXY pushing up. We should see Nasdaq sell from here. Yeah, completely forgot about gold to be fair. But I'm tracking the price, and it did actually sell off a bit, um, which is good. Yeah, so let's see now what happens with Nasdaq. It could be a good one. Only forex pairs are open. Yeah, indices are open too. So indices are open. Forex pairs. Yeah, GBP USD has absolutely dropped. Euro USD. That would mean that my position. I feel like my position would have hit take profit then, surely on Euro USD. It's this one. Here's my position. Good Friday to everyone. Happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. Yeah. So I think that with the dollar pushing, if the dollar continues to push, your gold buys might see. Oh, we've got a bit of a screen going on here. Um, your gold buys might take a bit of a knock, but at your level, I think you said it's 44. So I think you are perfectly fine with holding your buys here. But that's just my opinion. So, what does your morning routine or mental preparation look like before the markets open? Let me stop sharing here. Actually, bring the screen. Yeah. So, my morning routine, I have the same morning routine every single week. Every day, I wake up, have a cup of coffee, say good morning to the missus, say hello to my dog, have my cup of coffee, and I come to my workstation. It's as simple, as can be. I like to think that keeping a routine of what you do every day really keeps your mental state in, sort of aligned, I would say, to make sure that you are making clear decisions and that you able to uh, operate at your best. And yeah, just make sure that all in all you are ready to handle whatever comes your way. Obviously in these times that we're in, the markets are very volatile. I mean, yesterday I was trading gold. I don't normally trade gold, but I saw some good opportunities, saw some sales coming in, and we had a lot of volatility. Price was moving very quickly, very sporadically. So I would say that I was sad to sit there and actually watch and make sure. And I mean, I got a great exit point, and I'm very happy with the trade, and it was good. Your risk reward ratio. I normally target a 1 to 2, sometimes 1 to 3. If I'm taking um, a larger trade, like if I'm taking a swing trade, I would go for like a 1 to 5, 1 to 6. But that's more an investment rather than a trade. You could say it's a longer time frame, smaller lot size, and go for that. So, how much years are you trading? So, I'm coming on to my 7th year now of actively trading. But obviously, been in the space for a lot longer. I've always known about trading, had people around me trading. Yeah, actively trading for 7 years now. Don't want to book my gold position on Monday. Look, the fact that you caught that buy from 4,400 is insane. That's really good. There's nothing wrong with that. But I would say, man, just analyze over the weekend now. Take this downtime. We've got a nice weekend. Take the downtime and sit there and really analyze the charts and figure out what fits your plan. Don't close because you're scared. You've taken the risk already. You're in the trade. Don't just close the trade because you're scared. Close the trade because it fits your plan. It fits your exit criteria. And listen, I need to exit this plan, this trade. There's a lot of experience. Yeah, a lot of experience. I do also have a degree in psychology. So unfortunately, I can help as much as possible. But at the end of the day, you have to sort of put the work in as well. So multiple language in live. What other language are you getting? GBP USD view today. GBP USD, I think if the dollar could, because the news event came out as expected, I would say that the dollar should push. GBP USD should continue to drop. We have seen in this past week that Euro USD and GBP USD has dropped. Naturally, so dollar has been quite bullish. But we are very much ranging. The dollar at the moment is ranging quite a bit. So we could potentially, see GBP USD fluctuate as well. It just depends on what's happening on the day. But already booked max lots into my swing position for more profits. It depends, man. Like I said, take the weekend, go and really analyze, because I don't want to tell you no, because at the end of the day, it's all speculative. I can't say no to you. I can't say yes to you. You got to make sure that if you closing your profits, does it fit your plan? So is your trade, you closing it out early, does it fit your plan? Or is it just that you're too scared to hold on any longer? And if so, why are you scared? You got to look at that, because sometimes you can be scared, but the reason you're scared is because you're in profits. That is really good. Then if you're in profits, that's amazing. And it's good money for you, then close out. You don't need to hold on, because then it's just greed. But yeah, we'll just have to see how things go. Have you ever done revenge trading? Yeah, I have. Revenge trading happens to the best of us. It's one of those things where you don't necessarily ever escape it, but there's days where you're going to lapse. Unfortunately, it happens. But I like to keep a journal, so I journal every time. Every time I revenge trade, why did it happen? What caused it? Because everything there's a reaction, there's an action that causes a reaction. So revenge trading often is because you risk too much, or you're so biased in your analysis that you think you're correct and you can't take the loss. Accept the loss, move on. You take the loss in terms of the monetary loss, but by tomorrow you've recouped that, or sometimes the worst part is you're trading in profits. So you're trading risk in profits, and then you want to make that back as quickly as possible. That was the one thing that I really struggled with. It wasn't necessarily the loss. It was wanting to recoup the profits that I had. That was my biggest problem. Please, how do you balance risk per trade with maintaining consistency over a long series of trades, especially during drawdown periods? So a lot of the times with drawdown, and this is my opinion on it, people like to take drawdown, and the minute they go into drawdown, they want to adjust their risk. So if they were risking 1%, now they're going to drawdown, they want to risk 0.5 or 0.25. And, fair enough. I like to think that you need to keep your risk the same. And this is the reasoning behind it. If you take in a 1% risk, right, but then you take a loss, now you all of a sudden adjust to a 0.5% risk to make up that loss. Now, when it comes to trading, you've taken your one loss, right, of 1%. But now your winning trade, which is a 1 to 2, is 0.5%. So you've only made 1%. Okay, cool. Next trade is a losing trade, and the trade after that is a losing trade. Cool. So now you go from you break even to 1% back to break even, right? With one winning trade, one losing trade. Both those trades was a 1 to 2, risking 1% or risking 0.5, and you hit a 1 to 2. Now you only have break even. Now you take another loss, minus 1%, minus 0.5. Then you start adjusting risk. And it just becomes a slope of not a probabilities thing, but hoping that you hit the trade that you're risking 1% to hit. So that's why I would like to say that it's always best to keep to the same risk management, keep to your risk, and just, fight on. Because when you're trading, you should know, okay, cool. In back testing, I know that I can hit 7 losses in a row. 8th one will be a winner. So in back testing and live testing, I've never hit more than 7 losses in a row. Cool. Most I can go down is 7%. Keep that in mind. Obviously, things can be worse when you're trading the live markets. You can take a trade and, go over the 8. But keep that in mind and think, okay, cool. Just carry on risking what I need to risk and get back in there. What is the biggest psychological difference you felt when transitioning from trading a small personal account to a 7-figure? I didn't build the 7-figure overnight. It was very, very long. I started off small, started trading 5Ks. From 5Ks, I grew to 10Ks, 25Ks, and just over time, I've just built my funding up from there. It wasn't an overnight thing. When I first started trading 100K accounts, I became very nervous, you could say. Not nervous, but it was more capital than what I was used to, and I would blow it. I would be able to pass the 5Ks, 10Ks, no problem. 20Ks, no problem. The minute I went to the 100K, I started blowing it. My psychological momentum or anything went out. I started making bad decisions, revenge trading, and all that. What specific habits or routines separate consistently profitable traders from those who understand strategy but still fail? That's a good question. I would say that the one thing that separates those people is journaling. They don't keep track of the numbers, so they don't know how many losses they can take. They don't know what the worst losing streak they can take is. They don't keep track of the numbers, and they don't keep track of what is causing those issues. Like I say, when you revenge trade, something triggers that. So whether it's you want to make the profits back or something is triggering that. So when you look at humans in general, we learn through experience. So when you experience something, you go through it and you learn from it. If that makes sense. So I would say definitely journaling and just consistently showing up and learning from mistakes. What is the best risk to reward ratio? I wouldn't really say there's a best. Reason being is it's all about how you trade. It's not based on a person. It's based on how you trade. So for me, a 1 to 2 is great because I take more wins than I take losses, and at the end of the day, I know that a 1 to 2 is profitable for me. Because remember, that's all it's about. It's about being profitable and making sure that you are a profitable trader, and that's the most important thing. I can't say, oh, you need to hit a 1 to 3 to be profitable, because there's traders that hit negative risk to reward and are profitable. I couldn't do that. My numbers wouldn't make sense. So you kind of have to make sure that the risk to reward is based on your numbers, on your data. Like for me, there is trades where I'll take a 1 to 1.2 because it makes sense, or I'm taking profits early. Whenever we trade on funding trades are journaled automatically, so I have to just watch what we have done. No. So when I say journal, I'm not saying keep a track of wins and losses. I'm talking about screenshot your entry, write down why you took the entry, or on your computer, whatever. Write down, why did I take the entry? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Right? Keep notes of why you entered, what's happening. Then during the trade, keep notes of your emotions. Oh, I'm feeling a bit stressed. I'm feeling a bit emotional, I'm in a heightened state, or keep note of everything that's happening while you trade. I'm currently managing an active funded account with the recent market's volatility. What risk parameters do you recommend for traders who want to scale their accounts while strictly adhering to? Like I say, man, I can't really give you strict guidelines on risk parameters. All that I can say to you, currently we're in a risk-off environment, so don't be risking, max amount on every trade. I don't think it would be best. I think that you should be trading, how you normally trade, but just be aware of what's happening, because obviously if Trump now comes and starts speaking, then the markets can move quite a bit, and it's going to happen. It does happen. Um, and let's say a bomb goes off somewhere, or something happens, oil can spike. So, which obviously there's a lasting effect when something happens. So, yeah, I would say definitely just trade how you normally trade, but be aware of what's going on in the markets. Do you trade futures? I don't currently trade futures. I am considering getting into it. But for me, I love CFDs, and I don't see a need, to change just yet. But possibly in future. I know Real Funded, we are possibly going to look to bring futures in future, of course, which will be quite exciting. How do I change this deep belief that winning is everything and losing is a personal failure? I tend to see a loss or even floating loss like life or death, and honestly, the triggers emotional pain for me. So this is where I would say, and hopefully what I say now lasts, or sort of triggers. Um, Trading is the one thing where you can do everything right and still be wrong, but you can also do everything wrong and still be right. So the most important thing when we look at trading is, don't look at one trade and think, oh, I need to win. It needs to be a winner. Because then you're not thinking about probabilities. You're thinking about one trade, one outcome decides your future. And that's where you get it wrong. Make sure that you are looking at the long term. So you've got an edge in the market that it is profitable. But it doesn't mean it's going to be profitable in one trade. You know that over the long term, it's profitable. Like for me, if you told me my life on the line on this next trade, I'll do the best I can. I can't guarantee you that one's going to be a win. I know that I'll show up. I know that I'll do everything right, but I can't guarantee it. It's about doing everything right over the long term. Do you feel FOMO when you trade? Not at all. I'll be honest with you. I used to, like, you just wanted to be in a trade all the time, but now I can go so long without taking a trade. It's about quality over quantity. I don't really have that fear of missing out, because I know there's always more opportunities. And technically, with investing in that, I'm always in the market, anyways. I've got crypto, I've got stocks, so I'm always in the market, I could say. What separates Real Funded from all the other prop firms? What is so special about Real Funded that can benefit a trader? Very good question. I would say Real Funded, we actually do care. Like, I'm in the chat, I'm in these lives, I'm here to give as much help as I can. We also aren't, and I'm not going to name names, but obviously we're not like some firms where you chat to support and you get an automated response and just a copy pasted response. We treat every single person with respect, and we actually look into their issues. Where some people, they just give you a copy pasted, you don't get any help, nothing gets resolved. That's not how we treat people. So I would say Real Funded, our biggest thing is that we're real. We're real with people. We're real with everyone that we deal with, and we genuinely do care. We want to make an impact in the industry, and we think we will make an impact. We already have impacted quite a few people's lives. So I would say that that's one of the best things that we offer. Is that we real with everyone. Should we trust prop firms? Yes, definitely. I mean, the thing is, the prop firm model is still very young. It is gonna, pick up over the years. Um, for many people, it's changed their lives. I mean, for me personally, it's changed mine. So I would say that at the moment, yes, there is a lot of firms out there that are scammy. Unfortunately, it is the case. So I would say it's difficult to say which one to trust, but definitely, like go into their communities and start chatting with them, get to know them. It does happen. Some prop firms have multiple rules we cannot fulfill. Yeah, look, there is unfortunately rules is something that prop firms are going to knuckle down on. It does happen. There's always going to be rules, but it could be a thing where if you see a firm that actually has rules, it might be better for you because they're a bit more trustworthy because they are managing risk and you know they're doing what they need to do in order to both stay around and give value to the traders. So I would say definitely that wouldn't be a big thing for me. It's where there's hidden rules. So if a firm is coming out and telling you, oh no, but you broke this rule, it's in this. No, if the rules aren't on the page, then then you can't sit there and complain. Um, Unfortunately, those are definitely the firms that you need to watch out for, where they start making these ridiculous rules and all that. Real funded passed my phase one within 1 day. Unfortunately, failed phase two. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. It's yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. How do real funded manage to do payouts 5 times in a day? So the daily payouts is currently not available. Obviously, we have changed over to the bi-weekly. We do have a few traders still on that model, but yeah, it's not available at the moment. We are looking to bring it in as an add-on in future, though. As a funded trader, I find that psychological discipline is more important than strategy itself. In your experience, what is the single most common psychological mistake that prevents funded traders? I would say traders they take their time with phase one, take their time with phase two, and then they get to funded and they blow it in a day. Why are you taking your time for the challenge, passing it, going through, following your rules, and then the funded comes and you just completely forget your rules? So I would say that the biggest thing in that is to follow your rules even when you get to the funded. You know, you can you can drive a car all the way to your destination and have a burnout, and try something stupid 100 meters away and not reach your destination. It still means you didn't reach your destination. Any plans to launch futures prop? Yeah, definitely some plans in the future. It wouldn't be just yet, but we are going to definitely in future. If you had to start over from zero without large capital, what is the single most important psychological lesson you would apply? To sort of what I would apply is to take it step by step. Everyone wants to go from step one to step 1,000, but take it step by step. Start with a 5, 6K account, something small. I mean, 6K is not really small, but you know what I mean. Like, start with the smallest account that you can get. If you can afford, two of them, great. Just start with one, take your time, get funded, get a payout, reinvest. Just continue reinvesting. If you can do it once, you can do it again. If you've passed the funded account once, you can pass it again in future. It's not impossible to do. It's not something that's never going to happen again. You can definitely do it. Yeah, we did have, I think, 30% consistency. But yeah, then we upped it. We listen to people when they ask. We upped the consistency to 40%, just make it a bit easier on the trader side. And we sort of go from there. When instant account will be released? We are looking to get it released. Unfortunately, not yet available, but we will release more information when we have, because currently we're just busy working with the devs on that. For some of the accounts, they used to be, yes. I personally trade phase two accounts. I take the two steps better than the one. I just don't like. I prefer to take the two. I failed in funded phase. I'm so sorry to hear that. Jay, yeah, sure. You can show P&L. You can share it in the Discord. Just let me know once you've shared it. Are you a profitable trader? If yes, what challenges are you facing as a profitable trader? Honestly, just time. Because obviously I love to I like to work. I love business. It's my passion. I would say time. Time is the biggest thing. Making time to trade, and um, sometimes you'll have an A class setup that you're waiting for, and you just miss the entry, which obviously isn't great, but it happens. It does happen. Um, it's not something that you can stop or get angry about. You will miss trades, and you'll miss a few things along the way. But I would say the most thing that the biggest thing that I struggle with is just having the time to find to trade and making sure that I don't miss entries. Sometimes you're waiting so long for an entry and then it comes at like 12 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night and you just miss it. Unfortunately, you can't, because I don't just place limit orders or orders to trade. I like to see how price is reacting to my level or my entry before I enter. So it's very difficult to say, oh, this trade did X and X, because I need to actually be there to enter. What's the best tip you can give to intermediate traders like me? Just keep sticking at it. It's one of those things where if you just consistently show up and keep pushing, you will get there. Like a lot of people they drop out and they give up and all that. You can't give up. You have to keep pushing. And it's like I like to use the analogy where it's like an ice sculpture, right? You've got this big ice block and you've got to chip away, chip away. Slowly but surely, chip away to reveal the statue or the masterpiece. You got to chip away, and that's what it is with trading. You got to keep chipping away, keep working at it, keep working at it. And eventually, one day, things will start going well, and things will switch. What first thing have you done when you received your first biggest payout? I bought a car. So, um, oh, 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. Um, 2 years ago. I can't remember. I bought a car. Was the one thing. That was the one thing I bought was a car. I was quite proud about it. Obviously, not my car anymore. It's in the driveway. I don't use it anymore. I've got a newer car. But yeah, bought a car, and I was very proud of that. For a long-term partnership with a funded trader, what are the most important compliance rules we should focus on to avoid any issues during the payout phase? Honestly, as long as you just don't break the rules, you will be paid. Like genuinely, there's so many things that I can say, but focus on the rules, you'll be paid. We don't have the news trading restrictions, we don't have the weekend holding restrictions. As long as you focus on the rules, don't breach like the trailing drawdown or anything like that, you will be paid 100%. Please tell me a strategy that we can pass the account. It's difficult to say, man, because I trade. I'll show you guys how I trade. I trade so simple, so simple. Just give me 1 second. There we go. So I trade so simple. So for gold, I caught yesterday. I caught some sells on gold. Let me just take you down. So looking at gold, I caught these sells just here. I caught them. Now, why did I take these sells? Well, quite simple. Looking at market structure, we had this highs getting taken out. Oh, shit. We had a nice resistance area. We had the liquidity sweep. Now we're looking at sells. So we drop down to the lower time frame, 5 minutes. What are we seeing? We can see that price is rejecting this area. Actually, I'll make it a block. So I normally do it. Rejecting this area quite aggressively. So when entering this position, what was I looking at? I was looking at how price was rejecting this level, right? We rejected, started to create some structure to the downside. We then came up. What was this doing? This was taking all the entries of the early enters. So once this came up here, I entered just here. Price came up a bit. I did see some drawdown. It's going to happen. Not every trade is going to be perfect. Stop loss above the high here, and price melted. I eventually took profit here. I think I took profit here though. Price then came up again and then pushed. I'm happy with my stop loss. I was happy with my take profit. I was happy with the trade overall. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's simple, just market structure, looking at what's happening in the market, what levels are we rejecting, how can I enter on the pullbacks, and keep it simple. Which car have you bought? I bought a Bucky. It's a truck you can say. Do you have a mentorship program? I don't have a mentorship program, but we do have some educational stuff coming out of Real Funded. Obviously the content on the Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and TikTok is all, you can see it as a bit of educational stuff, but also you're welcome to come and ask questions in the Discord. So if you just add to Real Funded Community Manager, I'm there to answer any questions. Once we get a few more people in these lives, definitely looking to do the lives a bit more as well. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it would be a good idea. Can you come daily live for trading so we can take trades together? I wouldn't, time-wise, I wouldn't be able to do daily lives. I try my best to do at least once a week. But also, I mean, it wouldn't be right for me to trade and give you signals, if that makes sense, because A, that's added pressure on me. And B, if it goes wrong, then you can blame me. During high impact red folder news, what specific psychological trigger causes traders to break the rules the most, and what exact system do you personally use to stay disciplined in those moments? So the number one thing in high impact news events that I would say breaks people's rules is FOMO. You look at, like, let's have a look here. We have the news release here. So let's say we'll look on the 1 minute. Actually, you might be able to see a bit better on the 1 minute. So let's say you were trading the dollar now, and you thinking to yourself, okay, cool, I'm selling the dollar. You didn't look at the data, and you didn't look at that the data is expected to be bullish for the dollar, but you think, I'm selling the dollar. Right now, we 1 minute out from the news events. This candle opens here and starts pushing down. What happens? You were supposed to wait for the news event to drop, but what do? You take the trade because you think price is going down. We then push up. Now, if you had waited and followed your rules, let's say you wait for the first candle, then trade based on that, you'd be sitting in a bit of drawdown, but naturally so you're close to break even. But now, because you didn't listen and you thought, you're going to miss the move, you got in early because of FOMO. And that's one of the biggest things that happens to traders. And I think that's something I struggled with myself, is I would enter moves way too quick, hoping, because I'm scared I miss out. And then I'd actually get stopped out, or what would happen is it would go lower into my area that I was originally supposed to buy or sell from, and I'd have a worse off position. So I'm eating into my risk to reward. The trade hits, but I'm not making as much. which also does skew your numbers a bit. So I think that would be the number one thing that goes wrong for traders during high impact. If a trader remains consistently profitable over 3 months, does real funded traders often a plan to scale the account size beyond the initial funded amount? Yeah, we do have a scaling plan. That is something that we do offer. Um, but yeah, anybody else? You're a seven-figure funded trader. What's one belief? What's one belief about trading that you had early on that was completely wrong? One belief that one trade can change it. That would be the one belief that I have, is that one trade can change it all. One thing about trading is you can't rely on one trade. Yes, you might have some lucky trades that push you in direction or make you quite a lot of money, but you can't rely on one trade itself to change your life. It's about being consistent over the long run. 1 minute holding period. Yeah, so you do have to hold, I think it's 2 minutes that you have to hold for. Now, second quarter is started. What's your view? Um, I'm still looking at crypto. I do still believe that there's some momentum to be had this year in crypto, so I'm positioning myself correctly there. Stocks wise, I'm also catching a bit of entries on the pullbacks, especially on like indices and that, just getting a bit more investments in there. So I'm exposing myself slowly, but exposing myself a bit more to the markets. So I would say definitely something that I'm looking at. So we're gonna end soon. There was one question that I think is absolute best. What I'll do is we can do two today. Let me just look here where the question is. So it was. So it's the question. It's Ola. Let me just take a picture of this. So it's the question of, please, how do you balance risk per trade with maintaining consistency over a long period of trades, especially during drawdown periods? This was a great question. So Olatila, sorry, I don't know how to say the name, but yeah, you can open a Discord and claim your gift there. The second one we'll do is we'll do Tony Flair. Are you a profitable trader? If yes, what challenges are you facing as a profitable trader? That's a very good question, in my opinion. Just open up a Discord ticket and we'll get you from there. How do you choose the giveaway winners? Need an account? I lost an account. I just choose based on what I feel is the best question for this week. But that being said, we are gonna do the trade of the week in the Discord soon. So if you have taken any trades this week, go put your trade of the week. What do you call it now? Go submit your trade of the week for this week, and you can stand a chance to win a 25K account. We do this every single week, so yeah, just make sure that you do participate in that. We'll answer one more question. What mental model or psychological rule has had the biggest impact on your profitability, especially during losing streaks? So during losing streaks, it's one of those things. Where you just have to keep showing up. So something that I'll do in a losing streak is, if I start taking some trades again, I'll take profits where I see it. So I won't wait for price to hit take profit. I'll start taking profits just to get that confidence back. because you need confidence when trading. That's one thing that you need. You need to be confident in taking trades, confident in holding trades, and really back yourself. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next live. Hope you all have a splendid weekend. It's Easter weekend, so I hope you're spending it with family and enjoying yourself. Yeah, cheers everyone. Hope you all had a great one, and I'll see you next week. Cheers, guys.